Hola a todos, Profe Miguel here. In this video, I'm going to show you an exercise that will help you break through that mental block, stop freezing up when you go to speak Spanish. If you feel like you know a decent amount of vocabulary, a bunch of structures, but you just can't use it under pressure, this is for you. Por cierto, I'm Profe Miguel with Life Method Spanish. I help busy adults learn to speak Spanish using a method that makes it part of their daily life, especially when you don't have all the time in the world to score the entire internet trying to teach yourself. So I call this activity riding shotgun. So what you do, you get you a sticky note, and since you've been learning small digestible amounts of Spanish over morning coffee or on your lunch break, you jot down an expression or a few expressions that you're pulling from these lessons, whatever it is you're working on. If you still haven't developed a base of functional Spanish, comment functional and I'll send you a free gift, a blueprint to functional Spanish for daily life. So anyway, in this case, imagine we watched a video on a conversation like, hey, I just got done with something, now I'm doing this, and this is what I'm doing later. Like, I just got done with work, I'm coming home, I'm gonna cook dinner, I'm cooking dinner right now, and then later on we're gonna run down to the beach or something like that, right? That conversation. So these are all really nice plug and play expressions with infinitives. We're not looking at conjugation endings that are gonna get us hung up on conjugations, although you definitely could use regular conjugation. And then you get in the car in the morning and you put that sticky note on the steering wheel and you let her rip. This is called riding shotgun. Later on, maybe you go to work or you have a coffee break, and again, you just have that with you throughout the day. You practice it a few more times, just a couple minutes at a time. What you need is practice, not more learning structures. If you're not practicing them, then you go to speak, you're going to freeze, right? So let's see how this works. So our theme is en este momento. Acabo de plus infinitive, estoy plus ing, and voy a plus infinitive. So what I would do is I'll talk about what I'm doing right now. I'd say, en este momento, acabo de comer el desayuno, acabo de desayunar, y estoy manejando en carro. Estoy yendo al trabajo. Voy a ir al trabajo y tengo que trabajar todo el día, right? So I'm using these expressions. I'm going to practice them a couple times throughout the day. All right, so now I'm leaving work and I'm like, en este momento acabo de mi turno en el trabajo, estoy regresando a casa, voy a comer la cena con mi familia. All right, maybe if I was practicing it on my lunch break, I could say, acabo de hacer un proyecto muy importante en el trabajo, estoy practicando mi español, voy a comer el almuerzo muy pronto, something like that, right? So this is how you can use the riding shotgun activity to practice something you're working on. So I'm not suggesting you drive around with a bunch of sticky notes all over your dashboard, but do one at a time and make sure it doesn't interfere with your driving. But if you were at the end of the week, you had practiced this 3 times with 3 different sets of expressions, maybe during your lunch break one day a week at the end of the week, you put them all on your computer screen and then you practice all 3 scenarios. It's just the repetition. It's going to help you become more fluent in Spanish, right? That not needing to stop to think about what you're going to say all the time, because your brain's exercising when you do these exercises, and it's becoming more natural to your brain to create your own sentences, especially when you're using nice plug and play expressions like voy a plus infinitive, quiero plus infinitive. I like this expression with past tense, fui a, and then para plus infinitive. So something like fui a la playa para comer la cena con mi familia, right? These are really nice expressions that can kind of just flow because you're not really thinking about conjugations. But, also on there, I do have the yo forms in preterite, the a and the e endings, right? So you could use estaba plus ing. Estaba nadando en el mar cuando vi un delfín, right? Like I was swimming in the ocean and I saw a dolphin, something like that, right? So you could set a timer for 5 minutes and run through all the scenarios that you've been working on throughout the week, and it's going to give your brain that mental work it needs. It's not that you need to learn more structures necessarily, but if you do, then you definitely need to build a foundation. And again, you can comment function and I'll send you my blueprint for functional daily Spanish as a free gift. But anyway, it's just that you need the repetition. You need the exercise. Your brain needs the exercise. This is another language and it needs to work on processing it so that it can come out a little more easily, a little more fluently, right? So remember, it's not about how much Spanish you know or if you know all the grammar and all the vocabulary. It's about how you use the Spanish that you do know. And that comes from practice, right? So try this riding shotgun activity. If you start flowing through this stuff out loud or even writing it down, you're signaling to your brain, you're training your brain to think in Spanish. And that's what you need to do to improve your fluency, not just go and learn more Spanish, right? So if you found this video to be helpful, give it a like, follow the channel, and give me a comment if there's something that you're working on that you'd like to know. I'll try to make a video about it. Until the next one, adios.